Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. Can you tell what we're talking about today? We are doing skincare, one of my favorite subjects in the whole world. And I've been asked so many times to do a weekly skincare regimen. So showing you guys, taking you guys through my entire week. So that's what we're doing today. If you want to check it out, please keep watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for being here. Okay, friends, let's go ahead and get started. It is a really dark, dreary, rainy Wednesday here in good old Mo. So I apologize that my bathroom's probably going to be even darker, but alas, I have no sink in this area. To show you guys first off, we're going to do morning routine, and I'm going to kind of walk you guys through order of application, what's needed, what's not, what's maybe options depending on your skin goals. So I always say, number one, everyone's skin is different. So my exact regimen will not be perfect for your skin or Sally's skin, all right? Everyone's skin is different. Your skin has different needs depending on environmental factors or things you've used. It can affect your skin very differently. Like I have rosacea and I have a little bit of a sensitive skin, so certain things might make my skin flare up that you might not see any adverse effects from, and vice versa, because everyone's skin is unique. So right? The number one thing I always tell my clients when they're asking for recommendations on their skincare regimen is, what is your goal? It's just like when we're doing our makeup. How do you like to wear your makeup? Okay, what concerns do you have? What is your main goal you're trying to achieve in either tweaking your skincare regimen you already have put in place or starting a skincare regimen in the first place? Because those two things are usually very different. If you are starting to where you don't have a skincare regimen at all, you want to start with the basics. Bare minimum, simple. I'm talking morning cleanser, maybe one serum, sunscreen. Very simple. You don't have to be complicated with skincare in order to see results. The one thing that can get you results when it comes to skincare is what? You guys know? Consistency, okay? That's it. If you are consistently using it, then you're gonna see results over time. Now, skincare is one of those things that is hard for some of us impatient people, and you might be wanting to constantly switch it up, but I urge you not to. That makes it really hard to know what's working and to know if your skin issues are just caused from a product or because you're constantly causing irritation by the mixture of things, right? So the simpler we keep your skincare regimen to begin with, the easier it is to establish a routine. The best regimen is one that you will stick with and consistently use. When I first started on my skincare journey, I didn't even wash my face at night. I know it's horrible. And if you look at pictures of what my skin looked like before I became an artist, that was why. I was aging myself by mostly dehydration. I wasn't taking care of my skin at all. I wasn't using a moisturizer. I wasn't even cleansing. I was just drying it out by liquid and powder foundations that are actually worse for your skin because they cause your skin to dry out even faster. So I was aging myself by unknowingly what I was doing. So my entire goal since starting my journey was to age backwards, to rewind time a little bit. And I'm telling you, it is completely possible. It doesn't matter how old you are when you start. You will see results in as little as, I'd say, 4 to 6 weeks. And some, it'll be even sooner than that. It can kind of depend on what you're currently using and realistically what you're expecting. I'd say the number one thing you're gonna see results from is dehydration of the skin. That is so easy to fix. It is so quickly mitigated that I get comments all the time like, I incorporated your skincare tips and I am already seeing results in as little as 2 weeks. And it's because your skin was dehydrated, and you have dehydration wrinkles, not aging wrinkles, not from your skin moving. Most of mine were caused from dehydration. It's the simplest ones to reverse. So I'm gonna show you the basics for both morning and night, how you can add to it depending on your goal. So if your goal is just to get started, or if you already have a great regimen in place, but you wanna kind of kick it up a notch and see different results, I'm also gonna tell you that you don't have to always have one goal. I would say start with the basics, okay? See if you can stay consistent in doing that. Then you can move to, say, number 1, anti-aging. Many skincare ingredients are almost like an umbrella effect where they're all gonna be anti-aging, balancing, evening out your skin tone. They all kind of have similar effects. A lot of them I will insert what each ingredient is kind of used for. You'll see a lot of them have a lot of different things that they help. So I kind of urge you, if you're wanting to say, start with anti-aging, for example, but say you also suffer from occasional breakouts. It's really easy to go off that list and find an ingredient that is kind of a superstar that can do both. And then you just incorporate that one single ingredient in your regimen if it's not already there. It is way too easy in the skincare industry at this point to feel overwhelmed with the crazy amount of choices, of options. You don't need a separate product for every skincare concern. You don't need it. Many do more than one, okay? So like niacinamide, for example. It does so many things, okay? So just incorporating one superstar, that's why niacinamide's put in almost everything nowadays. So you might say, oh, well, I'm not using that. Do you necessarily have to use a separate one? My favorite sunscreen already has it in there. It is very important to know the ingredients you're putting on your face. Obviously, as a chemist, I am a little biased, but I always say you gotta know somewhat a little bit about your ingredients. Certain skincare ingredients are what we call actives. Those are the things that are really gonna push your skincare to the next level and get you results. Knowing that, say, I don't have any skincare in front of me because I'm gonna take you back to my bathroom, but knowing that one serum has 5 different active ingredients that are all gonna do will save you from buying another separate product that has one of those ingredients already in it. You don't need it, okay? So save your money and keep it simple, and you're more likely to stick to a regimen when you only have a couple steps and it's not a crazy 13-step skincare regimen. Am I right? So I'm gonna show you what I do morning and night, how I alternate certain nights, how you can pay attention to your skin, how you can do some weekly treatments. Did I already say that? Maybe. And most of all, which is why I think most people are asking for this video, what to not use together. And that is important because why cause irritation and inflammation that's gonna kind of push our skincare goals backwards by having to repair our skin's barrier function. I've done that before. It's no fun. Let's skip that part, okay? So we don't want to cause any unnecessary skin irritation. Nobody likes a peeling face. Once you know some simple key things, it's quite easy as long as you're reading what's in the ingredient label. I can't stress that enough, knowing what you're putting on your face, not looking at the marketing on the bottle. Please, actually, if that means pulling up the website of that product and looking at the full ingredient list. A lot of serums like that also have hyaluronic acid, niacinamide. They're kind of combos. A lot of companies put multiple things in there. so that you don't have to layer as many serums on your face, and you're gonna get great results from just one. But you gotta know that in order to kind of eliminate some other maybe unnecessary steps from your regimen. All right, enough talk. I'm gonna take you back to my bathroom and let's go over my daily AM routine. All right, friends, I warned you it's gonna be dark and dreary in here, but we're just gonna roll with it, right? Okay, so I have my lineup here. First of all, I want to explain that morning routines, I feel like, can be as simple or as complicated as you want based on your time, for number one, depending on your goals. So I see of these elaborate morning routines where people wash their face, put on their serums and their eye masks and use their new face and all those things. And that looks amazing. I would love to be able to do that every morning, but realistically, my day-to-day is nothing like that. I'm struggling just to get my kids on the bus on time, and then my kid to preschool, and then I get home and it's to work, right? I'm not gonna then come back home and wash my face and do this whole regimen. On the weekends, yeah, if I have time, if I'm not getting up to go to church or something, but on a normal day-to-day basis, I wanna keep it simple, right? Keep it simple, stupid, right? That's what I can maintain. That's what I'm gonna do. I can still get glowing skin, which was my ride or die goal from the beginning. Numero uno, I can't live without my tossy hair thing to keep my hair on my face. So it is like a headband with a pocket, keeps your hair up out of the way. It would be great if you're one to like splash your face. Since I wear Lashify, I don't splash my face. I tend to always cleanse with a microfiber wipe or cloth. Okay, so that way I don't have to, but I still do not want my hair sticking to my face until all that goodness soaks in from my regimen. And now, numero uno. So I'm gonna show you guys in a little bit this is part of my planner that I can plan my skincare. I will be honest, when I first started my skincare regimen, I had Post-it notes in my bathroom on my mirror that told me what days of the week to use what. There is nothing wrong with that. Eventually, you're gonna have it established as a routine. You're gonna be able to remember it. And then it's gonna be like second nature, knowing not what to use with what and paying attention to your skin, which I'll get to in a minute. So I have on here, I kind of like wrote the basics, some options, and how many days of the week I do these things, what are optional, and when I would put them in. And I will write this up to put in the video so that you guys can see, but I'll kind of explain it as I go through it. So numero uno is always to cleanse. Now, I'm a big believer that you don't necessarily need to wash your skin in the morning, which I know sounds weird, but it maybe won't work for everyone. I don't recommend it if you have oily skin, but if you are like consistently doing your nighttime regimen, waking up and your skin is glowing and moisturized and you don't have a lot of excess oil to rinse off your face, you don't necessarily need a cleanser to kind of strip it. You can just use water to kind of remove any of that remaining moisturizer from the night before. So since I've done this, my skin is happier. So I don't tend to use a makeup remover wipe very often anymore at all. I tend to just grab either the microfiber cloths from Seint, or these new little rounds are actually the perfect size for my morning. And then I stick to the bigger ones at night, and I'll show you that when we get to that. So I love these little rounds because they're the same material as, they're a little different. If you have these wipes, one side is similar to the microfiber cloth, and then it seems like the more exfoliating side of the cloth is a little bit of a different weave in the tiny one. I don't know if this is new or if all the cloths are This is probably when it first came out because it doesn't go bad, right? But it's got one side that's really exfoliating. So I love that because sometimes I feel like I just need to exfoliate, especially if I feel like I'm dry anywhere. I'm not necessarily gonna fully exfoliate my face. I'm just going to use warm water, so nothing hot, nothing cold. I'm gonna wet my cloth and wring it out completely. I'm gonna use the soft side first and just run it over my face to get all of that remaining moisturizer or whatever it might be. Some could be excess oil from the night before. Okay, and then I kind of usually get around my eyes. So my eyes tend to be the number one spot oil produces overnight. If you have trouble with your eyeshadow, that could be why. Make sure you are washing your eyelids every morning, and you might even need to use like a micellar water. So if you're like, oh, Sarah, I can't not use a cleanser, micellar water is a great option. It's not going to overstrip your skin. I just find that most people that are kind of dry and feeling tight, it's because they're using a cleanser when they don't need one in the morning. So know your skin type and understand that if you have normal to dry skin, you probably don't need to cleanse. You probably just need to kind of, I already feel clean, right? So now I'm just gonna use the scrubbier side to get around my nose, maybe exfoliate my lips a little bit. You can go down the neck as well, depending on, I always apply my skincare to the neck. So gotta get it all. There you go. Cleanser done. Now, if you are an oily girl and you need to use a cleanser, you can totally do that. I recommend something not too stripping. Again, if you do your skincare regimen the night before, hopefully you're not just super oily. If so, when you wake up, then something needs to be tweaked in your skincare regimen. You shouldn't be producing that much oil overnight. You might be trying to use too harsh of a cleanser. And what that's doing is it's stripping your face of all natural oils, which is like triggering your skin to be like, I'm dry, I need to produce more oil. Sometimes oily skin is actually because it's dehydrated, okay? And I know it's like hard to think of it that way because you're, feeling so shiny. But that was part of my issue when I used to have combination skin. Now my skin is as normal as it can be. I don't ever get oily or dry. I'm just normal all over. And I just thought it was genetic that I was gonna be like that forever. It's just because of the products I was using and I needed to balance my skin. So the milk cleanser is one of the things that helped me balance my skin. If I do wake up and I feel like I need just to exfoliate or cleanse and or maybe I didn't wash my face the night before, which it is extremely rare that I do that now because I just can't stand it. But, my nighttime regimen brings me joy. So this is the old packaging because I have stocked up on this Seint that discontinued. But the milk cleanser and then the Halo Clean from Butte, which has this little exfoliating silicone bristles. This alone will exfoliate those areas and help moisturize at the same time. Since this is a milk-based cleanser, it's never going to strip your skin. It's very hydrating. It's really good for dry or mature skin as well. It's one of the things that I feel like balanced my skin more than anything. So cleanse if you need to. If not, try a water clean. See if it works for you. I'd say the two things, if you are really you're like, Sarah, I'm not going to do all those things. You don't even necessarily have to splash your face with water. I would say at least grab this one serum and always use, can you guess what? SPF. Those two things should always be used in the morning only, okay? And the reason why vitamin C and SPF are like BFFs is because what vitamin C does is it kind of helps destroy those free radicals created by the sun. So it will help your SPF work better. By using that before, it actually gives your SPF a little bit of a boost. So, and it doesn't work as well at night. It's just one of those things that you want it in the morning when you're gonna have actual sun exposure. Just like SPF, it's kind of pointless to wear at night, right? So vitamin C should be your one acid, because it is ascorbic acid. It should always be in the morning. And that is one of the reasons why all other acids are nighttime only, okay? So AM is vitamin C and sunscreen. Now, I've talked so many times about the differences in vitamin C and the fact that they're not shelf stable. And if your vitamin C looks like this and it's pure ascorbic acid, it no longer is working. Okay, I keep this as a demo. So unfortunately, 100% pure L-ascorbic acid, it degrades with light. So that's why it should be in a dark amber bottle or something that the sunlight can't get through. And then air. So as soon as you open that bottle and crack it, you're gonna let air into it. In fact, if you're using something that has a dropper bottle, you want to fully squeeze it and then pull it out, okay? And distribute it, whatever, put it on your face, squeeze it again to get all the air out of the dropper before you put it back in there, so it can automatically draw up more of the serum without getting as much air in the bottle. If you're pushing this plunger while it's already in there, it's pushing all of that air into the bottle, you're gonna degrade it faster, and it sucks, but these bottles don't last very long. So once it starts turning, it's gonna be less and less effective. It's gonna be less the concentration it's supposed to be. Like, so that one's normally 20%. Who knows, it's probably like 5% now, if that. When it gets dark, I stop using it and I get a new bottle. One way to combat that is to get something that is a topical vitamin C powder, because once it's in solution, it's no longer stable, but as a powder, ascorbic acid is very shelf stable. So something like this one from the Nuco, something like this one's really cool because you just put a couple of shakes into your hand and you can mix it with any serums. So if you are wanting to really save time, save a step, but you're wanting to use a serum in the morning, say make sure you're mixing it with some kind of either peptide serum, anti-aging, doesn't have, any kind of ingredients that are going to react with it, or two things that will never react with anything, no matter what you hear. There's so much misinformation out there, is niacinamide and hyaluronic acid, okay? These are two ingredients that can be used both morning and night with anything else. Now you might be able to hear the rain is coming down hard. Okay, so you can use a powder. It's gonna last longer, and it's easy to kind of mix with other serums to get a one step of both products at the same time. If you're wanting the best anti-aging, I always look at the price tag, to be honest. One of the best on the markets is SkinCeuticals CE plus ferulic, okay? It was the first of its kind. It was patented for a very long time for formulation, so it was always the best. But $200 a bottle is a little steep for me for something that's gonna go bad in a couple months. It is literally practically identical to both of these. I'd say it's known as like the top of the market as far as the best anti-aging formulation of vitamin C in the skincare industry. That's why they can, charge the price that they do. But since the patent is no longer, some other companies can now use the same general formulation. I don't feel like there is much of a difference. I've used both. I saw results the same with all of these. So I'm all for saving a few bucks, right? And those bottles go bad just as much. If you are gonna splurge on something like SkinCeuticals, I would recommend transferring half of it to an airtight container, dark amber bottle beforehand, so that way you can kind of only be using one bottle at a time. It's not gonna go bad as fast as being open and closed over and over again. So my favorite two vitamin C's for
anti-aging purposes. It is the formulation of vitamin E and ferulic acid that works so well with vitamin C for that purpose. Is May Love the Glow Maker, and then Dermatology's vitamin C, E, and F. Okay, both of these are usually the one I pick up every morning. Okay, so water cleanse, I grab my vitamin C, put it on, and then I sunscreen, and I'm out the door. I have normal skin. I don't need a separate moisturizer on the daily, so that is dependent on your skin type. So let's go into a little bit about if you want to boost things a little bit. If I'm in a hurry, that's all I do, okay? 3 steps. If you want to eliminate a step, you can even use something like Supergoop Daily Dose, which is vitamin C and an SPF. So you would just wipe off your face, put this on. This is great for under Seint makeup because there's no silicones in this whatsoever. This is a vitamin C derivative. So it's not super strong. It's good for sensitive skin, but it's great, kind of like a one-step, one and done. I love this from Supergoop. So you also have the option, anytime you apply a serum, you want to keep like with like, the thinnest to thickest, I'm sure you've heard. So you cleanse, then you do serums, okay? Vitamin C, you always want to put on your skin first. It'll make it penetrate deeper, do its job better. Whatever you put on first is going to do the most benefit. I always recommend vitamin C first. And most formulations are very liquidy. They're like water-like. Okay, so obviously if you're mixing a topical powder, you just mix it with whatever serum or essence or whatever you're using, and it will be like it's going on first. Here's a couple that are different consistencies, okay? I would say this one I would still put on first because it goes on very serum-like. So this is Glow Recipe Guava Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum. This is also a derivative, but it has other ingredients in it that will actually help you fade hyperpigmentation over time, okay? Vitamin C is also one of the ingredients that will help do that, but this one is so beautiful on the skin. It smells good too, and I do really like it. This one is more of a multi-purpose serum. So if I'm really struggling and my dark spots are darker than they normally are, I'm gonna pick this one up for a week or so. I'm gonna use this on days that I want a little bit of extra help in that department. So there are vitamin C's on the market that will be a little bit more tailored to what you're needing them for if, say, hyperpigmentation is one of your main concerns. I would say if anti-aging is one of your main concerns, I would stick with one of those vitamin C ferulic combinations. This was a good one for dark spots. You're gonna look for stuff with tranexamic acid, kojic acid, things like that that help with hyperpigmentation. If you are dry, sometimes pure ascorbic acid will just irritate your skin further. So I would say if you have really bad rosacea or sensitive skin or a lot of redness, your skin's barrier has been messed up to where it's been compromised and everything you put on your skin is burning. I've been there. Stay very far from pure vitamin C on your skin after that's happened. It hurts. I've done it so many times. So that is a good case that you need something that is more soothing, or that is a derivative. Okay, so a lot of these have derivatives in it because it's gentler on the skin. Like Butte's vitamin C serum, it's clear because it's not pure vitamin C ascorbic acid. This is a derivative. This one doesn't burn my face when I am hurting. Another one is this Dermatology. It's vitamin C5. It has 5 derivatives in it. The reason I like this one is that it has a lot of ceramides in with it. Ceramides are great at restoring your skin's barrier function. I love this one because it's like a lotion. So I would say if you tend to be really dry, this one is really great. So compromised skin or dry skin, maybe look for more of this kind of lotion consistency than the pure liquid ascorbic acid. That one is gonna be a little bit more drying on the skin. So you might be saying, well, Sarah, I don't care. I want the strongest as I can get. and how can I mitigate and be able to use that without drying out my skin or causing sensitivity. And you can use something like an essence. I am obsessed. You guys, I've used this years ago, and I don't know why I stopped using it. Probably because this collection like took over and I just kept trying new products. And then you go back to an old favorite and you're like, why did I ever stop using this? Okay. So lately, not really lately, but if my skin feels dry at all, not tight, but just maybe not as hydrated and as plump as I like it, I've been going back to this CosRx Advanced Snail Mucin Power Essence, okay? This essence is their original. They now have another one with niacinamide in it in case you have a lot of breakouts. That would be a good option for you because that would be stronger for that. But for me, I'm just gonna use something like this. It is, I usually use 2 pumps. It does have, I know it looks gross, but it's not sticky on the skin. Okay, it actually does have snail secretions. Amazing for the skin. Don't knock it till you try it. I swear I see better results from this than any other essence I've ever used, okay? If my skin is feeling dehydrated, I just use this. If I wanna give my skin some kind of barrier before I put on a strong vitamin C, I use this. If my under eyes are a little bit crepey, I'm gonna use this before I use something else. So this has kind of been my go-to lately to repair all this. Is a lifesaver, I promise. So you can put something down like that, then go in one of these with these stronger pure ascorbic acids, and then put that on. Okay, it gives you a slight barrier. So yes, you might not get as fast results with that one by putting something down first, but I feel like that essence will only make your skin look better, I promise. Days where my skin's a little dehydrated, I add that one simple step. I just add an essence. Sometimes essences are kind of like toners on steroids. They usually have a different purpose, either anti-aging or moisturizing. I feel like this one is supposed to be for both. So that's kind of like a power duo, and I will put that on where you would normally put a toner. I don't use a toner in the morning. I don't find them necessary. I'll show you more on the toners at the PM stuff. Okay, so since vitamin C is more or less a serum in most formulations, any other serums you want to use, you can use at that same time. I recommend putting vitamin C on first, and then you can go in depending on your preference. So I already showed you, you can use hyaluronic acid, niacinamide during any time, and peptides. Peptides are also something that I feel like are great for anti-aging. There's so many different ones on the market, and you can just find, I feel like peptides are more like you find a formulation and a serum you enjoy applying, okay? Then you kind of just stick with it. So I've been using the Dermatology needleless serum. In fact, I don't know if you can see, I'm almost out. It's really good. This one is good because it has so many different ingredients. So like I said earlier, read your labels. This one already has niacinamide in it. Oh my gosh, it's got ceramides, lots of ceramides, niacinamide. It even has panthenol, which is an antioxidant, copper peptides, which are amazing for anti-aging, glycoaminoglycans, which are amazing for the skin. So many peptides I can't even count, and it's got hyaluronic acid. So some of these you might not recognize, like sodium hyaluronate is hyaluronic acid. Their chemistry is a beast. There are a lot of different names for different things. So this one's got it all though. I find it one of the few peptide serums that really is formulated amazing and never irritates my skin. So I can straight up shave my face and put this directly on it afterwards, and I get no sting or no burn, which is really rare for my skin being as sensitive as it is with rosacea. This one is amazing if you have sensitive skin and are looking for anti-aging. All the way up to that lash line. And any remaining, always put it on the back of your hands. Those bad boys age fast as well. So, I said at the beginning of the video, you really got to know your skincare goals. I know most of the time I'm talking about anti-aging. I feel like most of us, that is always kind of at least one of our main goals. But depending on what your goals are, if you have acne, you might be needing to use something more targeted for keeping acne at bay, like niacinamide. We can use those stronger ingredients at night. Everyone probably knows hyaluronic acid is good for dehydrated skin. The key with that one is always putting it on and making sure you're putting something over it to lock it in. Otherwise, it's just gonna dry out your skin even more. Okay, what did I miss? So redness or irritated skin is an issue for you. You want to really load up on ceramides. So things like the needleless serum, or this one has a lot of ceramides in it. I would say a lot of those in your moisturizer, but if you're wanting an extra serum or so, you can look for recovery serums, something like that. Last but not least, one of my main issues is hyperpigmentation. I've said for years I need a video on hyperpigmentation all in and of itself, but it is just so difficult to combat. I will do it one day, I promise. But for the meantime, I'm still trying to combat my own. Things like azelaic acid, really good. This is one that has also niacinamide and vitamin C, so it's a great one-step serum that you can use similar to this one, okay? So you get all three of those in one application. So serums are all optional, okay? I would say if you're gonna start a regimen, use vitamin C. That is my one recommendation. You will see results from vitamin C alone. I promise you, if you use it consistently. Other serums are optional, a moisturizer if needed. So I would say I kind of go back and forth. On certain days, like I'm actually a touch dry today, probably because I've washed my face more than once because I forgot and I washed my face earlier this morning. So yeah, I'm a little bit drier, so I'm probably gonna use a moisturizer today. I normally don't. I normally just use my sunscreen. So if you are dry, you need if you need that extra moisture, or like I said, if you have more sensitive skin, want to use more ceramides, I would say, oh my gosh, this bad boy is amazing. Okay, this is kind of one of my newest obsessions by Do. It is the same company that makes those Forever eye masks that I've shown you before. So they're not just a one-time eye mask, but you can use them over and over again. I've been wanting to try this forever. I also have their serum, but I only use this at night. This is one of the best moisturizers I've ever used. You guys know I'm obsessed with our milk cream, but I like to use this one in the morning if I'm dry, okay? I haven't noticed an issue with my makeup, but it does have some silicone in it. If you are sensitive to silicones, I would recommend maybe trying it before or use a very small amount. I tend to just use it where needed. It gives the most beautiful finish. It has no fragrance, nothing. The ingredients in this are just amazing, but it's packed with ceramides. It will help your skin over time. I no doubt in my mind. It's so good. So I'm just gonna use it in a couple areas, not much. You didn't see me apply much. Where needed, where I'm kind of dry from my rosacea sometimes. Okay, now if I want my makeup to last all day, I haven't tested this enough to know if it's gonna affect my makeup. I haven't noticed anything but I know that there's some people that cannot use any silicones. And I remember there being like one silicone compound in this, so it might affect some people, just a heads up. This silicone-free priming moisturizer is my go-to in the winter if I know I'm applying my makeup, but I am dry and I want a smoother finish and I want to stay hydrated. There are definitely no silicones in this. It's very hydrating. It's a great formulation as well. And it does kind of help you prime your face and lock in that moisture as well. Before, I don't think you need a primer with 3D foundation unless you're oily. Okay, so we moisturize. So key, SPF is always last. Always. So if you need an eye serum, you can apply it before or after your moisturizer. I'll be honest, I don't use one every morning. I usually use it every night. And in the mornings, if my skin is feeling dry or crepey under my eyes. But I take this all the way up to my lash line so I don't feel dry, usually just with that. Again, I have very normal skin. The cat hair be flying and it's always like going up my nose. Anyone else have that problem? Like I can feel it on my face with all of these creams on my face, all of my potions. I can feel it stuck to my skin. Okay, last but not least, the other non-negotiable is SPF. I actually just got 2 in the mail yesterday. I'm dying to try them, so I'm gonna try one today. Little first impression for you. I've heard nothing but amazing things from everyone on this one. I'll be honest, it took me over a month to get it in the mail since I think the time it was shipped. I've been waiting a very long time, and that's because it's from Korea. My ride or die sunscreens, because I always get asked about this one. So the first one does have silicone, and I like it on days I'm not gonna be applying makeup. Like I just want a natural look, but maybe I need a little bit of extra help. Like I have a lot of like darkness around my eyes and my lids don't match the rest of my face usually. So sometimes I want something a little tinted. So this Dermatology Universal Tinted Moisturizer, I like this. It gives a really beautiful glow to the skin. Let me show you guys on an area I haven't already put product. It's a universal color and it totally does. It blends right in, no white cast. I don't feel like it gives that much coverage, to be honest, but it gives me a little peace of mind. I feel like I'm kind of evening out my skin tone a little bit. But it is silicone based, unfortunately. So I don't use it under the makeup ever. I know it's not gonna help with longevity. So I use this on no makeup days. Pool days that I'm like literally no, I'm not putting any makeup on my face. Like I don't want to even feel it on my face. I'll just put this on after my skincare regimen and just leave my skin glowing. And I'll be honest, I do that a lot because I love no makeup days. My first love and first favorite of all sunscreen was this Elta MD. It was the first sunscreen I think I found after having my melanoma that I'm like, okay, I can wear this every day. I always say the number one thing with sunscreen is finding one you don't mind applying. Finding one you enjoy that has good skincare ingredients in it that are actually gonna help your skin over time that aren't just another step for protection. Like that doesn't sound as glamorous as, oh, well, this is gonna actually help my acne over time and rosacea and all the things, okay? So this one is Elta MD, the UV Clear. It is the one for skin types prone to acne, rosacea, and hyperpigmentation. It doesn't burn, it goes on clear, and it's got niacinamide already in it. So for years, I never thought about using another niacinamide because I was already using it. So, and you'll see niacinamide is formulated in a lot of sunscreens, so you don't necessarily need it separately. No white cast, okay? I feel like that's the number one thing people look for in a sunscreen. It's making sure they don't look like Casper the Ghost. Okay, and then so I always recommend this one for anyone that has more sensitive skin, likes a matte finish, because you can definitely apply your makeup and then use a powder over it. It's not gonna make you really oily or anything throughout the day. It's just got a really nice formulation. If you have issues with pores, this one is the best, just due to formulation and the way it sits. Okay? This is my favorite if you like the glow. And you guys know I love extra glowy skin. Okay, it does have shimmer in it. So I always try to explain that. Let's see if I can find an area of my arm. Okay, it is slightly tinted. I don't feel like it actually affects the color of my skin at all. But I don't know if you'll even be able to see it in here. It's got the glow. Now, some people find it way too much. Like, I don't know if you can see it. It is very, very fine particles. It won't make you look like a disco ball. It's even a finer shimmer than like our glow illuminator. But it will, or it can, increase the look of texture and pores. If that's an issue, I don't recommend this. All this does is reflect light, okay? Light is what's giving the appearance of larger pores when your face is very glowy. That's why you want to kind of mattify those areas with a palette. Okay, so this one is the one I wear on a daily basis. Love it. It is what I wear under the makeup. I think technically both of these have one silicone ingredient, but it is not dimethicone based, which is what stuff like this is. Dimethicone, I feel like, is and its derivatives are what really causes our makeup not to stick. It slips and slides all over the place, and you get longevity issues. So I forgot one. This Image skincare. This is technically a daily matte moisturizer, but it's got an SPF 32, which is not bad. This one is actually, I don't know if I'd already put something there. I might have. This one is actually more matte, and it will dry down matte. It smells really good too, but it is good skincare ingredients as well. But this one does have some silicone in it. So if you notice that your skin, you just can't have any silicone and you're aware of Seint's 3D foundation, you might not be able to use this. You might be able to. I know a lot of people that can wear silicone based, maybe not based. Silicone based is different. If you look in the one of the top 5 ingredients is dimethicone, I don't recommend it. If it's got dimethicone in the bottom of its ingredients, then it's got some silicone, and I'd say 85% of people can wear it, no problem. But there are some people that can just not wear anything with silicone in it. Their skin is just different, and it will not allow our makeup to adhere. So just know that going into it. Read your ingredient labels. I promise it'll make all the difference. So I'm trying to remember, and of course, oh, this is on the box. Okay, I thought I remember there being maybe 1 silicone in this one when I looked it up online before I ordered it, but I wanted to try it anyway because I've heard nothing but amazing things about this formulation. And I see that there is niacinamide in it. Something about Korean sunscreens, they have passed different filters, SPF filters, over there that the US has not adopted yet, meaning it has great sun protection and the formulations are so much more wearable and nicer to wear. So I got another one too. I'm gonna try them and test them. Of course, test them with the makeup, but I am so excited. This is the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun Rice and Probiotics SPF 50 plus. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this particular one. Everybody, all my skincare gurus say this is a holy grail. Okay, 2 finger widths. Okay, I heard a lot of the ones with this new filter are more watery. Do you see how it's running? Okay, so that one's that's a little bit different than what, oh yeah, it's very, anyway, 2 fingers, it's kind of the, what do they say, general amount that you should be applying to your full face. I know for a fact most people are not applying that much, but to get the SPF protection that is written on the label, that is what you should be doing. I can tell it's got a slight white cast, but it's going away as I rub it in. It feels really silky, smooth. I can tell it's extremely hydrating, meaning I probably did not need to apply that moisturizer with this SPF. I don't think I needed it at all. It feels really good, actually. Like, I'm pretty sure my kids will not mind applying this one. So don't forget your eyelids. I probably should have brought more of that down the neck. That was a lot. It was much more watery consistency than I expected until I started rubbing it in. But there you go, there's my first impression. It's really pretty on the skin. I can tell it gives a nice glow without any shimmer. So if you want glowy but no sparkles, like the glow screen, I'm excited to try more. So I will try to link it below. Be warned, if I link it to the company I bought it from, it does take a month to get it. So I know summer's coming up and people are looking for great sunscreens the more we're gonna be outside, but it is Melanoma Awareness Month, so please wear your sunscreen. I read all the time where experts are like, doing a full skincare regimen and not applying SPF daily, it's like, what's that quote? Like brushing your teeth while eating Oreos. Or I always agree with the like trying to clean your house when your kids are home. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna get you any results because SPF is the #1 way to prevent aging. #1, fight those free radicals that instant sun exposure are gonna create, and you'll instantly be looking younger sooner. I promise. It's like, don't do all of this, buying all this stuff and think you're gonna get all these results without protecting your sun and protecting what you're doing to your skin, letting it do its job, and then protect it so it doesn't age anymore. SPF is so important. I will preach it forever. It is something I didn't do, and that's why I had to pay the cost. Enough about my SPF spiel. Wear your sunscreen every single day. Last but not least is morning treatments. This can go morning or night, but I do it in the morning. And I'll explain during the nightly section why I do it in the morning. And it's usually because I'm exfoliating the night before. I'm loosening all that dead skin with an acid. And then the next morning, I want to actually get off the dead skin cells. So acids tend to kind of break the bonds holding your skin cells together so that then they can be shedded, right? But if you're not then helping them shed, they're still going to be on your face. And sometimes like it looks like dry patches or flaking and all those things. So I use my acids at night, okay, before I go to bed, let them work their magic. And then the next morning in the shower, I use my Cure. And if you guys don't know what this is, I could talk for an hour just on this subject, but I know you guys don't want to hear it. Cure is amazing. It is the most gentle exfoliator I've ever used in my life. There is scientific videos I could show you that proves that it's actually skin cell proteins that are coming off, and it's not just this polymer rolling on itself. I know every time I talk about this, people say it doesn't work, and I urge you to try it one time and tell me it doesn't work. It's like impossible to use correctly and tell me it doesn't work. The key is it has to be on dry skin. If you do it on wet skin, it's like these get deactivated, it doesn't work. So what it is polymers, and it will like kind of ball up the dead skins as you rub it on your face. I'll link a video down below, me showing it, so that you can check it out. I'm sure most of you watching this has already seen this a million times, but let's just try it on the back of our hand, okay? Back of our hand, it's a gel. It's messy because it's so watery, which is why I use it in the shower, okay? All you do is rub to activate it. Let's see how dry the back of my hand is. Actually, not very much. You can kind of see some of the white chunks balling up, that is the polymers with dead skin inside. So when you use it on your face, you will know because your skin will be baby soft after you rinse it off. It is incredible. But if your skin is already wet, it won't work. So you can either wake up in the morning, use it. I tend to jump in the shower without touching water. No joke, I don't touch the water. I use it on my face, then I rinse it fully away. That's how I use it. If you want to kind of use it on clean skin, you don't want to have makeup on or anything like that when you do it. But you can also cleanse the skin, dry it thoroughly, let your skin fully dry, then use it. So that way you can get the ultimate benefit from that. So that is one thing I do in the morning, but you can also do it at night. I do this every couple days like clockwork, okay? So usually 3 days a week. I'm gonna assign everything a day of the week, so it's very simple, so that you can adopt it for yourself if you need to. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, okay? There you go. That was everything for the morning. I would say the only 3 things that were every single day, no matter what, is my water cleanse, vitamin C, sunscreen, every day, okay? The essence as needed, okay? Maybe a couple days a week. I tend to do that on days I do this, okay? You're exfoliating off all that dead skin. You might feel a little dry, or you might just kind of want to replump your skin after exfoliating. You can use this on those 3 days. Serums, every single day. I'm a serum junkie. If I turn the camera so you can see all this, I love serums, so I tend to use them daily, and I switch what I'm using depending on my skin that day. I always tell you guys to like pay attention to your skin. That will take practice and time for you to realize when you might be a little dry, need to use a hyaluronic, or you might be, maybe it's that time of the month and you're breaking out and you need a niacinamide. You can use peptides daily if you really want to tackle fine lines, or again, hyperpigmentation daily. Whatever you need every day, you could totally do it. Or you can switch it up on the daily, depending on what you feel like your skin is doing that day. We got moisturizer as needed. If you have dry skin, you'll probably always be using that every single day, but that should always be before your SPF. SPF should always be last to give your face protection. That was my AM. Holy moly. I can talk about skincare all day. Can you guys tell? All right. I'll be back with my nighttime routine after I put some makeup on, so I can show you guys what I do differently when I need to take off my makeup first.